Zack Snyder's Justice League is the Justice League movie that he intended to make. After the death of Superman in Batman vs. Superman, the movie follows Wonder Woman and Batman's efforts to recruit Aquaman, Cyborg, and Flash to form the Justice League and prevent Steppenwolf and his parademons from getting mother boxes for Darkseid. This movie stars Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Ray Fisher as Cyborg, and Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and Ezra Miller as the Flash. Yo, so after this, bring on the Snyderverse. The Snyder Cut felt like a myth. It felt like a cut that didn't even exist. It felt like the 2017 came out and that was it. There were a lot of people on Twitter campaigning to release the Snyder Cut, and it finally happened, you all. It finally happened, and it feels so surreal. What's going on, you guys? Hook your brother up with the HBO special. Y'all know what that is? That is the Help a Brother Out special. Hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and hit like on this video if you enjoy videos on the latest in movies, TV shows, with a sprinkle of anime and gaming, Marvel, DC. We do it all here at Geekly Goods, guys. My name's Leo Rydell, and let's dive into the review for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Wow. I am going to start with what works, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you, there's a lot. So what works in this movie that really just didn't work in the 2017 movie is the characters. Zack gives a lot more life to these characters. He actually does insert the scenes that were meant to be there in the first place that really give us a sense of who these characters are. We get to explore them with more extended versions of conversation and of confrontations between Steppenwolf, and we even get extra scenes in the film. Now, I don't want to spoil because I do want you to go check out the Snyder Cut and really enjoy this version of Justice League the way it should have been seen. But man, it is incredible how much more we get of these characters. We get so much more, especially more Cyborg. But again, I don't want to dive into detail on what we do see, but I just want to tell you there is more on these characters. There's a secret character. There's a couple of different characters that have popped up in trailers like Joker. Steppenwolf even becomes different in this movie. We see a lot more middle management. We see him a lot more subservient to Darkseid. So there are so many great nuances in this version of the film, and I just love what Zack has done with these characters, how he tells their past, how he really does mold you to become actually attached to these characters and really gets you in the mood for Justice League, because that was one of the biggest problems with 2017 is everybody just kind of landed in the league and there really wasn't a big or great build up to these characters. They were kind of random versions of the DC Comics characters that we know and love, but they are just so much better explored in this film. I mean, seriously, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman, Batman, Flash, Cyborg. What a great team that Zack has put together here with this version of Justice League, because we actually get to see small moments, even just tiny details of character in this movie that just really help the overarching picture and give us a better sense of who we're getting to know here. We get more scenes with Arthur. We get extended scenes with Diana. We get some great scenes out of Flash. I mean, there's just more. There's so much more, and I really enjoyed it. It really did help the 4-hour runtime of the cut, because 4 hours looming over our head, let's be real here, that felt like a long time. But that's what I want to get into next, and that is the pacing of this film. The pacing is actually very well done. And now, one could argue with the different actual title cards that they have to split up the movie, it could have totally been an episodic adventure. It could have been split into multiple episodes, but man, I did not want to stop watching this whatsoever. I thought it was edited so well, personally, that I could stay invested for that 4 hours. Did I check the time a couple times? Maybe, but at the same time, I still stayed invested. I still enjoyed what I was watching throughout the entire time. It was just very well paced and edited, in my opinion, to where it feels like an equal balance that each character got. They really got some time, and they really got almost an equal amount of camera time apart as they did together, and I really love that about this movie. It feels like every character gets a balanced backstory to themselves. Like, it just feels balanced. It feels like the 6 of them really are 6 Justice League characters and really do have 6 stories to follow. So this is just super well done in this movie, and the dark side scenes are great. The Steppenwolf material is pumped up so much better. It just is so much more well executed. The script is far better without Whedon, and that leads me to another thing that works: the script. Holy smokes. Characters have better lines, including Steppenwolf and a couple others. I don't really want to necessarily dive too deep into that because, again, spoilers, but I just love Whedon not being involved in this script. This screenplay was written so well, and I thought that the characters had strong lines even without that kind of Marvel style humor that was forced into the 2017 cut. There is humorous moments in this movie that really are funny, and they actually play off of each other very well. The characters do, and they bring in humor that makes sense for this universe and for these characters. It doesn't feel so Marvel-ish. So that's what I love about this, is the writing and the screenplay. Man, they just do fantastically. And then I also want to dive into the visuals, another thing that works very well. Zack had an intended look for this movie. The colors on the suits are a little more muted. They're not as bright and Power Ranger-ish as the 2017 version looked, and I know I'm sitting here dogging the 2017 version, but this version is just superior. The visuals are amazing. Zack has these huge wide shots that just graze over the environment and give you a nice establishment of where you are. It really gets you into the mood of setting change and switching settings throughout a 4-hour film. You get to graze over the environment and just look and see how things are before an action actually takes place. So those shots are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. The Atlanta stuff is great. Seriously, the cities are great. I mean, this is just shot so gorgeously, and the visuals are fantastic. The suits look better. Flash doesn't look like a Power Ranger as much. I mean, his muted red just works better for this look. Wonder Woman, her suit looks amazing. Batman, Ben Affleck looks amazing. I mean, wonderfully enough, the shots line up a lot more because obviously they weren't cut and then reshot with the Whedon stuff. So that was really nice to get some good continuity where it doesn't feel like, oh, these new shots are jarring. They actually just worked in tandem with what was already shot. Very well done. I mean, just A to Z. This movie is incredible. Like, seriously, characters are better, environments, colors, the look, the visuals, the script, and the writing and the story a lot more tight, and characters just have such brilliant moments. And what Zack does with the story, this does feel like the original intended version. It just feels so well done. So let me get into a couple of things that I think didn't quite work. Now, the first thing, unfortunately, that doesn't work for me is Ezra Miller as the Flash. I think even in Zack's version, I'm still not a big fan. That just doesn't feel like Barry Allen to me. I mean, Barry Allen is supposed to be the same age as the Justice League, so it was just kind of weird to have this younger Barry Allen in the first place, and he just feels a little bit more like a weird amalgam of both Barry Allen and Wally West. I almost said Alan West, but he feels like Barry Allen and Wally West kind of put together with some attributes of both, so it just kind of felt the same in the sense where it's like, okay, this just doesn't feel like a Flash, but he does have some really cool scenes in the movie, and regardless of how the trailers look, the running actually looks pretty darn good. I'm not gonna go and say it's the most phenomenal I've ever seen, but it does look really good, and the lightning look is even better looking in Zack's version. And then another thing that didn't quite work for me is that some of the scenes felt kind of forced in there just because it was like, you know, Zack's intended vision, and I understand that, but some of the stuff is like, all right, do we really need that? How does it really meet up with more things? And kind of makes things a little jarring in some places, but it's not a bad thing, and it certainly is a big improvement from 2017 because I was looking at some of these scenes and I was like, how did Whedon leave this on the cutting room floor? Like, I just couldn't understand how he would get rid of some of these brilliant scenes. So some scenes I just don't quite fit, and then unfortunately there is a lot that sets up to more, but it makes me wonder, is there going to be a Snyderverse? Are they going to go ahead and give Zack Snyder the keys to the castle and allow him to really tell his story? I would absolutely love if they did a spin-off universe where it's, you know, Zack Snyder's intended story. Honestly, I think that could be really cool because there is so much continuity here and there is more opportunity to tell a big story. So I'm hoping that please, HBO Max, WB, if you're listening, bring on the Snyderverse. Bring it on. Y'all know we want it. Y'all know we're excited about Zack Snyder's Justice League, but you all, I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Have you seen it yet? And if you have, please let me know what you thought, what you loved about it, what you didn't quite love. And if you're planning on seeing it, what are you looking forward to most? Because there's so much to look forward to in this movie, guys. Y'all, I cannot talk enough about this film. It is fantastic. Thank you so much for watching my review, and a huge shout out to Warner Brothers for sending me a screener early. Thank you guys so much. And y'all, let me know your thoughts down in the comments per usual, and hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Stay tuned for later on in the week, because I will have a reaction to Zack Snyder's Justice League with a very special guest, you all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.